Yeah, yeah, tea.
Sisi obesia mo sisireku onye onwam kasabereku ya owantam nuro na so na pempem kuku awomreku atinasi bio obesani chechefruma kanya heroma do sobrebo ma timo bonyo awomreku atinasi bio obesani chechefruma kanya heroma do sobrebo ma timo bonyo
Sebeye ye. Abusuafo me chiachia obi bia me ma obi bia kwaba eba sa yedwumadie so eya osomfo ba wo mriku anyampon ba ko pe no size mesrawo se afe na ode wafidie no ato ho a join yen ebra me frefra hwefo ne atiefo wo ba so so a share video ne ma me sesi a me hu obi anti se wanka ha ya mintumi enchia say hello or hi so that I could also welcome you very nicely mesramo.
Sisi obesia mo sisireku onye onwam kasabereku ya owantam nuro na so na pempem kuku awomreku atinasi bio obesani chechefruma kanya heroma do sobrebo ma timo bonyo awomreku atinasi bio obesani chechefruma kanya heroma do sobrebo ma timo bonyo
Hey, Sister Aisha, see you. Medofopa, Auntie Aisha, welcome. Mr. Obapa, no, I share video, na mami. Now I invite you, be a mami. May try say, I don't know what is happening to Facebook this morning, but I'm trying to share on my this thing. Mr. TBA, Mr. I don't know why it's like that, but Obaso Pena was share mami. What Mr. Obaso, so I say hi so that I could acknowledge you, welcome you very nicely, and then we have this conversation. It's very imperative. Today's program is going to be very interactive. Also try and bring your contribution under the feed, and I'm trusting God that our resource person is in the our capacity to answer everything professionally how we want to understand. Hey, Amajo, I see you. Amajo, Sheila, I see you. Medafopa, Oba Fefe, Mechia. Auntie Sheila, I love you, Wati. Oh, your love. Oba Pena wa share video na mame na wa invite you obi amame. Me try set me share feed, Ewo hase na. I'm having a challenge into Miss Ramu. Oba so pena wa share mame na yatumi edi sa conversation ni. It's very imperative say sa nkomo we ye ntan ni di we your community mu but say ye shia say ya eboa said ye be ya bribi ekoso ana ye hu bibia Lucy Ado, I see you. God bless you. Nan upon Kunedu nyami onshira Oga Armstrong so me chia me sure say Sister Aisha na invite him unti mamu nyina akwa aba me hu wo feed no so but I'm just welcoming. If I'm not mentioning your name or you are on, I haven't say hello, it means that I haven't seen you on my feed. Please forgive me. I have people coming on my inbox. They say, "Oh, you did not welcome me. I was on the feed." I'm sorry. If you just stay on your corner, I would not see you. But if you say hello, if you interact with me, I will know you are on. Some of you. Whilst we are sharing to various pages and platforms, enjoy this music from Ankla. So, my guest for last week, we had a blast. We had a live worship in this place. Auntie Sheila, mwah. Oba sope share video ne mame, invite you obi mame na yemfa agro no. Mpanifo be say agro ne form yemfa nhyehyɛ so. I love the song. Otia yo sang mopo. Nyame ye tete botai. Krobetu nyame. Ani ashasi. Nasasi keseso. No sakrana. Namwa yensuro. Ejine ma wa fofre no. okura yemu wanatabanso bacho ba so peshe video ne mame abusiafo nyame onhira mo papa welcome yensuro otiyemu no osusi ni awori asi ochichire a eremopo wa mo hihye yin ebedwuri batoto ye benkum ye na yedibe na ya nwa bonifu aketia yenini namwa yensuro say peja nidi yama nosu say yedini akwa adofunum ye dinimo anopa ye peja radi yesu din dani da ye peja ni din e wo situation ni mu ai yentre nkratu akakra
Echire sisire obesie bo sisireku onye onwam kasabereku ya owantam nuro na so na papam kuku awomreku atinase bio obesani chechefruma kanya hiroma do so brebo ma timo bonyo awomreku atinase bio obesani chechefruma kanya hiroma do so brebo ma timo bonyo
Mama yanto ade kakra ene edwumadie no Jara Beauty World fo ene so yasene Jara Beauty World fo nyame onhira mo no nti nanim enkyere mo ye dwumadie ba na wotwe bia wo mo na so yasene na ma dwumadie eba so Jara Beauty World fo ahofento asewofo wo pe etire ho ade yo bia se wo pe wika wo pe beauty accessories wo pe hair extensions hair products relaxers weave-ons ni ade a one telephone number ena eguso no baby awo bia won betumi aposti abro wo betumi aye wo order wo from na wo kira mo niam a wo pa they will post you and as I say there corona ni tie nyina ye hwefie ba courier services for eye adwuma enti on betumi aposti ade abro omo telephone number ena wo so 07868746470 and now per line na 01952619223 Jara Beauty World for ahofento aso hello meba say ya di wudi akwa mi lo wanyom ne kakra na
mbacho yo
Auntie Rita, onwayefo me yeda, udi me yeda sika. Hey, Auntie Rita. Hey. Mrs. Kwenu. Kami nsha ye ma wakwa aba eba dwumadi so. Nana ma Jesse me hu. Jesse, nyame enchira Jessica, nyame nsha papa. I hope say ohun ye ne Geraldine ene abusuafo obia ho ye. Wo ba so pe no wa share video no. Odofo ene nkomo na ye ba bedi no is very imperative. Said the entire imperative ne say kakra be fa ho Afghanistan ye kan ye baby ye free said ye tete yen said ye yen said ye free adi yen development from childbirth nyina ko simpempenso a ye dream there are effects and some causes be edi hini e wo yen ho enti ye bedi nkomo a it's very deep frɛ obi na obi nso frɛ obi they try some measure feed you know I say I'm having a challenge here. So Obaswa share mommy. Share to platform B, school platform B. Somebody might benefit. Maybe for you, you don't need it at this moment. But honestly speaking, this conversation, it's very, very important. Share this feed. Someone himself so for be women nyampon. Sa metenasia ye besuade yensuade a eye futusem enya futusem a eye bibi e be hye ye hunkuran na amayatumi emra ti semu yi emra wiase nyina di amerika yi ye hu se de betutu ya namo enti ene emra mense emre yi mepa chaw ene hwan ene oba be som yen Rita ye kabrofo ana ye katwi na ebekọ yi ama
o je kabrofo na be okay
ene mo be ha madwene sukufu yi hey Mompeti bi mami na jamende. You are welcome to this great platform. Eya afatwi no de obetumi ya afatwi ni frafra na amankrofo aye blessing ama everybody. English no o kan ye bete but some me katwi ya wote.
But yes, yeah.
I will try my best. For those of you who does not come from Ghana, Auntie Rita can speak in English, you understand. I will also try and blend my local language so that those who does not understand the English very well, I might translate or give them a whole gist of what is going on. So we'll keep it in English today. And feel free to also put your questions under the feed. Our guest today will try and answer most of them professionally as best as she can, so that we all go. Hey, Adwa Odo Mehu. Adwa baby, I see you. God bless you. Osofwo Bolaji, Shalom. Oh, God bless you. God bless you, Papa. Yamisha. I'm trying to share the feed, but I'm having a challenge here. So if you come on, share the feed to platforms you know, and let's invite people to come and watch. I'm having a challenge sharing and this feed today. Welcome. Auntie Rita, first introduce yourself to us, what you do professionally, and how you be of immense help to us today, so that we start.
Right. Thank you very much, Awo, for inviting me to this great platform. And thank you.
Welcome.
My name is Rita, as you all know. I'm a trained mental health professional, and I have been working as a mental health nurse for about 6 years now. Not long ago, I just obviously completed my master's degree in global mental health. So what that basically means is obviously looking at mental health from a global perspective. So it's not just the UK, but all over the world, Africa, Asia, looking at how the mental health system works globally. So that's what I have just completed at Glasgow University. So that's just a brief introduction.
Don't underestimate this small body. The brain is working. I've told you, Glasgow was come and see young girls, beautiful, sexy, and yes, sexy, but sexy, blessed and favored. Young brain which is working correct. Nyame has endowed us. As I'm looking at this young sister of mine, in fact, every day when I go to church, I tell my daughter, Berika, look at them. Look at them. There are some Nyame Glasgow district here was oye. Me share that one send me the comfort by. Ebe kakra me the epidemiology next into ni beba. Peter master's degree. School no ma kwadwene no is working. It is no more. Enye ano kasa. When you now your community anymore. Na say you are making use of it. What else can we do? Other for the almost question ni nyina beboa yen. Adwene ye adwuma na adwene ye adwuma abrabo nkukuru nhwe ase niema bi ya nsunsuanso bi ekoso no wakosua mu adeyo ohun ni ye bi ni niema bi ya nipa bi ya otimu se we yade we enne eno no de ba bedrom yen enya sa oyo warefo pita nkwala mienu enti oye 36016 abrabo no so waye mental health nurse 6 years osan kita master's degree sa akwala misuro no nkwala no sa nkwala no wo ma soro de obu nti na omukasa me yenka brofo I need to be very careful with my sentences omo te se me ma no ka brofo etimi correct me ka ga na brofo na etimi correct nti na ye besua de enya wo nko ame ameti he me so me besua de nti nwe waso share video na fere obi because I had ye besua de ene ye bedroso no ene ne masters ni nyina ye ba be yi ni nyina bi aponi bi agu ha the cheeses no ha na final yi na ye de ba be but enye one day wonder we'll try and do other proactive program it will help our community but ene de be kasafa trauma ho enti no Auntie Rita me ma wakwa aba me ya sure say odofo me ame elder edakwenu obehyew enti give him a shout out be any man shout out kakransan ya shasi.
Yo, I want to take this opportunity to obviously thank my husband, Elder Samuel Quinaoo, for his love, for his support. He's an amazing husband, and I wouldn't have come this far without him. So I just want to give a shout out to him. And my two beautiful girls, Phoebe and Hannah Ray Quinaoo. Just want to say I love them so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, auntie, you are welcome. And you're very brofo. You're bachelor brofo. Auntie Rita. Auntie Rita, I'm going to this room. Auntie Rita, do she have ya? What you stress out? And then you're baby. Rita, you are welcome. So when we say trauma, what is trauma? I mean, what is trauma? Somebody say, I am traumatized. What is it?
Thank you very much. I'll try and use the tree and then the English together as much as I can. So when you talk about trauma is a psychological response of an event. A person find themselves highly stressful, or for example, it can be a natural disaster, it can be an accident, or it can be a war zone. But when it comes to a professional point of view, when it comes to trauma, we try to define trauma from obviously the classification of what we use to obviously diagnose somebody who is experiencing trauma. And then what I'm going to obviously define is from the American Psychological Association, the APA. And it says trauma is an emotional response of a terrible event, like an accident, rape, or natural disaster. So, but you can say trauma, and then Sana made me define, like a very stressful event, such as like being raped or being involved in a natural disaster or being involved in an accident or going through a very stressful situation in your life.
Okay. So from this explanation you've given me, life experiences, some of the things you've been through can traumatize you or can have socio-economic effect on you. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, definitely.
What are some of the traits of a traumatized person? What are some of the things, indicators of trauma?
Well, people who are usually traumatized, there's quite a lot of things that they go through. But first of all, I would like to there are types of traumas, so when I go through the type of traumas, it will help me to obviously be able to obviously answer that question that you just asked me. There are three types of traumas. There's an acute trauma, which is a type of trauma that is very stressful and dangerous. So that can happen for a short period of time. For instance, being involved in an accident, not a major accident, just a mere accident. That event can actually traumatize you for a short period of time. And then the second one is the chronic trauma. The chronic trauma is the result of a repeated or prolonged exposure of highly stressful events. For example, a child abuse, bullying, or domestic abuse.
Wow.
So when somebody goes through those things, it's a chronic, it keeps coming all the time. And then the third one is a complex trauma. The complex trauma is as a result of exposure of a multiple traumatic event happening to you. So for instance, you've been bullied in school, you are going through domestic violence at home, you're being neglected by the primary caregiver, which is your mom. So all these things come together, make it very complex trauma. So when you're dealing with somebody who is experiencing complex trauma, it's very, very difficult because there's so many emotions that are gone wrong, and you need to obviously try and rectify that emotions. Yeah.
Okay, so I think for now, for now, I want us to stick to the domestic trauma. I think the last one we were talking about, if I'm wrong, if I'm right, which is the complex one.
Yeah.
Which is the one we need to actually talk about, because a lot of people take it for granted, but it is one of the things that eats everybody up, which has damaged a lot of people. So I want us to talk about that one, because in as much as we want to talk about trauma, the individual ones are there, even though it's there. But I want us to talk about the complex one, which is a psychological effect, social, which affects everybody and people around our society and our community. It is imperative for us to have this conversation, because as I got to learn a little bit about it, I realized that even the way we are raised, even the way our culture, our society turns in the name of I am correcting a child, can damage a child So today I would like you to, for a few minutes, I would like you to draw about the chronic one, which I want us to dive deep. Does it make sense?
Yes. Okay.
So let's start.
Great. So when we talk about the chronic trauma, so I'll try, because of the question, I'll try and do the chronic trauma and then the complex one, because it's
Yeah.
hand in hand with the complex one. So when you talk about trauma, most of the trauma tend to happen when we are young and when people are young, and it goes on from one child into the early childhood. People
Mr.
are
Amofanchamena, meba. Yeah, left or not, we have a challenge. Yeah, left or not, is going under reconstruction or hunting noise or the hase kakra. But anti-rata to us, I think we'll...
As I was saying about the chronic trauma, that's the result of a repeated or prolonged exposure of a highly stressful event. For example, like child abuse. And as we know, child abuse doesn't just happen once. Child abuse is a continual thing that happens for a long period of time until the child speaks out or somebody speaks out. The child can be abused for a long time. So that's the chronic one. And then we talk about the bullying. When a child goes to school and the child is bullied, because of the factor, the child is not able to obviously talk about the bullying. So this child goes through the bullying process from maybe primary 1 to primary 6. And then obviously throughout their whole life, throughout their entire education, they go through the bullying. And then the last one is the domestic violence. Domestic violence is what sometimes children find it very, very stressful, because they believe that obviously this is my home, this is what I know, this is my mom, this is my dad, and then obviously they are going through that kind of violence at home. It's very, very hard for the child to come up and say that this is what I'm going through and I need help, until the school try to find out, or until the school try to see signs and symptoms of the child obviously experiencing domestic violence. This child will go through their whole childhood experiencing this obviously trauma in their life. Then it leads into the complex trauma, whereby they've been child abuse in the family or around them, whereby there have been domestic violence. Then it goes on with the physical and emotional. It becomes a problem whereby they are unable to obviously control their emotions. They go to school, there's always behavior problem. There's always bullying going around. There's always
Okay. Auntie, slow down. You are rushing us because as you are talking about this kind of things, a lot of things are coming into my mind. So let's digest it a little one after the other, because today I don't want us to rush this topic. Just so, because a lot of our culture, Ghanaian community, a lot of things our parents didn't know. A lot of people have damaged their kids in the name of I am correcting that child. Some of them have lost themselves for that reason. Even to keep normal relationship with some people, to have a formidable relationship with even friends and people associated to them has become a challenge. And then their excuses. Media mean penny or people see him as on penny. What people don't know, say a mask or the sad no I'm masking. There are a lot of Ghanaian women, when you are talking to them, they cannot even look at you in the face, eyeball to eyeball. What people don't know is some of the traumatic things they've been through. Like, for instance, I lived with stepmoms. Okasana wo hwe nanim crosses or hwe manim so odwan bi. One kasa one develop ho and free sa de ban mu a, you end up say only obi kasa kra no what see you lose yourself, you lose your self confidence. But brain one parents na ya, the parent think you was strict, being strict, taking control, want to be in charge, but so doing have damaged their kids, which I think for Ghanaians, they just brush it under the carpet, they think it's all right. But as you are growing, as you develop yourself, as things are going on, a lot of relationship are spoiled not for any other reason. It's just because even the pakonokra identity crisis, the ma wa komuno, inti bibi kakra bi or woni pam na bibi kakra bi ba na wa associate the fact say o ka say neglect it me ma kwala traumatizing. And some people also out of the trauma they've been through, they can't keep relationship.
That's true. Yeah.
Is there a link? Can you elaborate that thing for me?
Yeah, and I want to talk about attachment theory.
Mm.
And most times when people come for assessment, I currently work in a acute assessment ward, whereby we have people various mental health problems. So when people come for assessment, what we do is we tend to use a module like this. I say a guidelines be to help us to basically find out the root cause of the problem and also make a diagnosis and then further on obviously interventions or treatment. So attachment theory is something that's mental health. We don't really play with it. You know, we say attachment is a deep and emotional bond between two people, and then mainly is the primary caregiver and then the baby. You know, so when the child is born right from the start, you know, the relationship between you and the child is very, very important, because if that relationship or if that bond is not strong, it can lead to further on problems, and we've seen it. There's research and evidence that suggests that a lack of attachment right from the onset can lead to a lot of mental health problems later on in life. So there's four type of attachment theory that we've known. So secure attachment is whereby the primary caregiver is very sensitive to the baby. You know, you're there to provide the care, the support they need for the baby. And then the second one is the anxious or preoccupied attachment, whereby the baby is anxious because anytime the baby is requiring something from the primary caregiver, which is mainly the mom, as you say, they don't get it. So they become very anxious. Oh, whether is my mom going to be there tomorrow for me? They are always anxious and they are always preoccupied in their mind, thinking that will my mom be there for me? Or perhaps because right from the start, the mom hasn't always been there. So the child obviously developed this coping mechanism to say that I am very anxious because my mom is at home today, but I don't know if she's going to be at home or she's going to care for me tomorrow if I need that care. So the child becomes anxious right from the start. And then the third one is a dismissive or avoidance attachment bond, whereby the child becomes dismissive. And then in terms of that, you put the child in a room and then the mom will be there and then the child will not even acknowledge the presence of the mom. That's obviously right from the start, the mom has been avoiding the child right from the start. So the child has gone to obviously develop like a coping mechanism whereby I don't need you, I can be on my own. Yeah.
So whilst we are talking about this attachment theory, for our Ghanaian parents, some of them have left their kids with family members in the name of me pese ohwe mame, me wofa we na wosika, me bra we na betimi atene me ba, me sister we. And some of us who are in diaspora or our parents were in abroad left us with people. And this kind of attachment you are talking about, and the attachment you're talking about, a lot of us have lost it. We have coped with different mechanisms and it has brought a lot of things in us. We have trust issues, we have neglect issues. And so when we are even with friends and they show a sign of the kind of things we went through as kids, when I put this topic on and I said, a lot of people have come in my inbox and somebody told me if I have a boyfriend and he tried to even raise his voice, it put me off. Unfortunately, when you are dating somebody, you might not see some of his worst part, but he give a lot of people chances. But once you is now married now, and a husband is a very loud person. Loud when it's watching football and other things. The moment that man raises his voice, it brings something in him. Which won't say, or kind said the nana wafa na tia no. Ni kunu na ntia no, but say bia, ne ba cry bibi na otia mu a. Na just say I can shake like a leaf. I am trying, I've gone to therapy. A simple thing like that, I can overcome. That shows how damage living with people has caused some of us. This attachment theory, I want you to take your time and elaborate it very much, because in our Ghanaian society, in the name of in the name of say, I as a parent, I was me children a seminar me penino. Indirectly, at the same time, they will tell you, Bible say, sa scripture nom di your man on crefen saying, shira kwala kwan na wo fa so na oni a or the sa quotation yi ne ho ano na or the ebro any ehwe any atemdidie e raise akwala. In the name of say me tia no me pesa wo besai me pesa obey say, but what they don't know no say some of them do more damage than the good you want to. Mame nchiachi adofo kakra bi na ye ntoa so me hu sa me dofo pa Akosia Williams e wo fie ha Akosia nyame nhira wo na ya oba pa me chia wo sa na me am sister Ophelia Goldheart nso e wo fie ha Wendy McFly nso e wo fie ha me am dofo pa Comfort me is also in the house Connie nyame nhira pa me so wo break nyame nhira papa enne Comfort ne Rita adwumakro na but in a different dimensions and ye ni patrimu adwuma ye menka ne sa mental health adwuma and if I see these girls, I'm so proud. I am so proud, and if I get them on my platform, it's an honor because they are very busy in their kind of jobs. Once they get a little bit of time for me, I don't want to waste it, so and maybe absorb BBA. About the attachment theory. Can you take your time, elaborate it more, because the points are in the attachments, and a lot of Ghanaian parents don't know. Say in the name of segment, they are doing more damage because akwala diabetiano. By to what extent and how far can you go? Emma sa emotional trauma, Emma.
When it comes to the attachments, now, as I said earlier on, it's very, very important in the early stage of the child's life. So I've talked about the secure attachment, whereby now it is recommended that we can all be in the secure attachment, whereby we are securely attached to our kids. But whereby we find an example now, mindset, whereby you are here and you have to leave your pet somewhere. That one is something maybe beyond your control that you can't obviously do anything about it. But what you have to make sure is that the person you are leaving your pets with, I don't know how I can express on that, but make sure that obviously they are treating the child, because you have to get it right from the start, And as you said, most of our culture, like most of Ghanaian culture, we try to like shout a lot, especially when playing the child, the verbal abuse, and for instance, I say, with away, when names away, those things are demeaning the child's, how do I say, is demeaning. Those that is very aggressive talks and demeaning to the child. Maybe you probably say, but those little things, the abuse here and there, can have a traumatic effect on the child. For instance, now what the social workers have been have trained most of the teachers to do is that when the child will school and plan and then I would say I will pass Ben that's now I said the social workers are now training the teachers to obviously try and find those kids because almost a Black and African minority and yet more training the teachers to obviously look up these signs, and when they realize your child is I say obese one, the confidence level is very low, the self-esteem very because of the verbal abuse and the things that they go through in the house now. Then the teachers obviously phone the social workers and then they report the case and then the investigation starts. And then when they get the child, then you so we have to be very, very, very careful in terms of I know me one call out to it's not easy. Sometimes you want to discipline them because you want them to be right kid. But sometimes we should also be patient with them. But you also be patient with them. And then the words, I mean, particularly about the words. Even the Bible says that life and death lies in the power of the tongue. You know, now I mean, you're demeaning the child's future. Psychologically, you need to see about when you know then those things will start to play back, flashback, nightmares, you know, and they develop some coping mechanism behind or new person of relationship because after all, mommy and the primary caregiver was very abusive to them when they were little. So why should I trust somebody? Or why should I do this? It's very, very important in our kind of culture and say the way we bring our children up is very, very, very extremely important in terms of their mental health in later stage in their life. Yeah.
Okay, let me read this message so that we continue. Auntie Sheila said, I also think it's not they don't know, but rather they are only exhibiting the way they were brought up. Some of the parents, it's not that they don't know, but you can't give something you don't know. Honestly, you can't give something you have no knowledge about, which I agree with you. But I think, say, it is about time a generation will rise up and say, this thing is not good. In the name of, say, Sana Africa for Yetiano, I will say if you na yede eniyema papa esha nine because say you started and nisa ankomwe where your community more. A lot of people will suffer. Abrochire ya be bebre ye jinkrofo ma. And all in the name of this very emotional attachment, it comes in a different forms. What is said social worker? It is a foot a parent didn't put well. A child is showing aggressive behavior. There is an aggressive behavior and it's a communication to the parent. A child speaking a language a parent does not understand. A parent see it as an aggression or something. Then in the heat of the moment, you know, or no, it's a form of communication to parent. Something has gone on which you don't have understanding of it. Aha ena bebre me nkwa Ghana fuom wa ma Ghana fuom ti se meme areta mu comfortere mi mu Akosia Williams mu Sheila mu sister Aisha mu yi Ofilia Godat mu a ye yanyan so ye Ghana fo wa ma sa ye nkrofo yi hu a enema ye kyerɛkyerɛ wo be den no wate enti wo de sa na name se me bepe greener pasture no wo be wie no ni agye wo ma bebre wo ho so a ye pe greener pasture no. Our duty as parent, core duty as parent, you know, ye ja to wo pesika. She de bia makachire me kachira awofo bi say ye wo mra ye di pesika wo. And ye wo mra ye de tete ma. You can't have the two together sometimes. And ye obia na what luxury na obenya career dear ben at the same time have parenting you know no. When you are lucky, we are lucky. Now we share be me bia. Abrabo na mo bo no otiase. Entino share time no among yourself and you can have a career and ye a kobase abroche nyamia ya da room bitimi ye day bitimi ye night whereby obi wo hwa one nkwala ne tie abrochire and papa ne tie papa ne se ma so me kwatena Ghana na aka ma me no nko bills need to be paid. Then you neglect the kids, going to look for money to pay the bills and feed the kids and clothe them. It is a good thing, but then again no e woni nsu anso nso a edeba ensatia enye pe whether we like it or not sa de ban ye community mu ukunu timi wuja na aka wo ne nkwala anase awadija ye timi ba na aka wo ne nkwala bribi tumi ba na nipa kono find herself in a single parent position. Now this is where the trick of the trade is. Abuja for mint na ha nkase me a perfect parent. I have my own struggles I'm going through, and people have no idea how I have to fix myself. I'm fixing me, and this is a very emotional conversation for me because you know what? Said you be me ba be couldn't make us abna trouble or very much to make a chance at trouble. I didn't hear because when who said the matia palano. Now, that is what I knew. Sana ya de me. But Michia and I realized that I have an issue. and have an issue because in the quest of being a good parent, I end up being the worst of it. And I have to be truthful. That is what I know. As time goes on, I learn say there are other forms of measures I could use. There are other forms of measures I could use. Yeah, how we are not being judgmental, but say, me jinya me de say, ubefa bribi afidi ewrabe ye be ye kan mu. Na amawan kwanko ye say, me ba brochire be pesi kan so me wie ye mabra ba ye se mara. Mo amukita choro no me se me ni meals and boons me watchro na de bia me kan Bible a. Naomi, eno aba brabo na brabo na hwe ne ma oti ba bia better a place of bread. Eno se we ba ba bi fofra ye greener pasture. De se me no mienu. Ye ti Gold Coast. Yanya ye se ye ba America said the nkrofo bi kan no ana se bi beka say me ba Germany e bi be say me wa Canada e bi say me wa Australia ye nyina be pay Abraham requam was Scotland me should be pay green pastor. But in my quest to look for those things, sometimes if I'm not careful, I'll lose my kids. I'll have the mansions, I will build all those things, but bisa say a dear inheritance ben I would ye jawoma. Ye mu bi wo hwa ye maame mu tu kwan ye mo ba brochire mu akra ya nche den hu bi britichiru bia ye mo. And then one kasa in the quest of pese wudi ye na adwene ne se opese wudi ye no e bia faso adamage yen na senye basa yi adom nyame e na ye hia no e na ya nkasa ya adwene se ye besa ye ho yade a. Can you imagine me ka bia kyerɛw me metena ha te se de me ye good saa no na me ka kyerɛw no me mitimi tia me ba na me kunu ye be ma ne ye mahye no. And you have to put brakes on me. Ebi wo hwa no wa frɛ me akonche we de wa nye ne yie esankabo ye ni sei. Sometimes I divine no wo obi owo ho a wo kyerɛw se anye yie a confrontation to me ba wade ni mu because e ba kwa ye se mpese me tia akwala no mpene ma ye ntia no eno so e de tassel ba. Why? Because what you don't know no said the comfort e ka ho asem we ene no saa yade no wo mu bi mu your coping mechanism say monkey do what monkey does. The idea we no opese we bi. Yes,
no, I connect.
And some are emotional. I need to be truthful to people. Now I'm not obi anye say. I'm not obi who say ebia ya can wasem na no wasem be hia anye wunti na ye wo ha. Ghana 4% ebia na minimum obi ana ebia wo fo say minimum. And there be nye wunti na ye wo ha. Ghana 4% ube wie program na obi afa ho time because wa hit bibia aka no.
Mame unti ne wa why awo no no soro unti ene ye wa ha why let's try to be honest a little bit and face your truth and accept the fact there where we're coming from. We're broken, we are messed up psychologically, emotionally, and so we all need help. Right? So muntini waha. Aha. Mun somebody had a case study da. Once somebody yebeka da. Yebeka niaka yediaka. Well, open. Now it is called healing. Okay. You heal through these things. Let's not take it personal. Say, because we've been brought up to cover things up. We don't own up to everything, and it's not good. It is. You'll find solutions to problems. Earlier, before, sorry, I'm imagining because you sent me the message to the other phone. I was listening to Uncle White. To even find out that today he's talking about love, to be loved and accepting love issues, okay? So would be fully. And also even availing yourself and acceptance, Christ will be done who you are. And then you are papa na can mature Adam say, Kai, 80% media, Mafa, just there. It is that bad. Okay, we have issues that it's tough. Now, baby, me fans me do me pick it from baby. I walk say it's piano. Oh my God! Hey, Akosia yebo mia mana airtime. Not airtime.
In the name of say
Because,
you are not conforming the way their expectation of how a girl should be.
Because you are a different child. Oh yeah.
I have the
you,
same issue.
Yeah. To them, I'm the not. And even now, I'm watching. Some people are watching. They know me. They still talk like, and I get upset. And sometimes they don't understand. It is not nice. It is not nice. And today, let me put it on record so everybody will understand. If you're close to me or you know me, I don't like the way I'm more referred to. Oh, you are this, you are that. I am unique. I am who I am. I didn't create myself. If you allow me to be me or figure out if whatever it is wrong with me, okay, there you go. And I don't like that. I don't like it. What you just wrote, honestly, I don't like it. I don't. And it gets to me. Honestly, it gets to me. I intentionally avoid people because of negative things they say. They think it's a joke, but you know, I've heard this thing from Ukolabrema. Then I'm grown to this age, and you still use these words for me. You don't know how much I hate that. I honestly hate this, and I'm just saying it once and for all. I don't like that. You see, ASR, it makes you feel a certain kind of way, and it's like Obian accepto. They can't accept you for who you are. What is wrong with me? That is what you tell me. Okay, you are giving me a negative. My brain is working on a negative side. Says something is wrong with me. Nothing is wrong with me. Okay, nothing is wrong with me. I am who I am. Last time I will be. Yes, Jerry is stubborn. He asked me stubbornness. No, I'm saying me. You know what have I caused? At the end of the day, I that's all. My baby will be bunny. No, this is who I am, and I can't change it. And even if it is a trauma or something I went through as a child, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you accept me or you did. Do not contribute to that at the end. Don't contribute to it. Don't poke me to bring that thing out of me instead of Uber try say the best in me and you will bring it out. And a lot of people do these things. A lot of us do these things, which is really bad. If you call left and I may call right, then people don't understand. So and then I would say no, because I know I'm a victim of that and I don't like it. Because the more you put negative, the person becomes what you pronounce on them, and it's not nice. It's just not cool. Rita, you have said a lot. Only comfort, my idea. You're teaching us. We're still on these things. Yes, I realize this. I'm a better parent on the phone, distance from my kids than with them. This is a struggle I'm dealing with because my daughter, me and minim, but when she confronted me, and I was shocked. She said, mommy, I like you on the phone or away from us better because I sound better, sweeter, nicer. But when they are around, little stress I can't take. And you say, now answer what it is how they treated us. I don't think they knew any better. We're still trying to work on it. This rejection thing, this rejection and abandonment thing, it is scary. It is
absolutely
scary. And I've said this thing like not once, not twice. A girl who was just left from the grandma at 2, mommy was not there, daddy wasn't there. Then grandma has to work because she's also divorced. Literally, you raised yourself. How do you expect such a girl to even build trust with people? Me want trust issues, big time. Big time. If I draw you close, the little thing you do, it takes me far away. I go back to that, and I have to. No. This is not a safe place. I need to find another place to hide myself. And therapy is doing a wonderful job, but hey,
you still have a long way to go.
Oh yeah, we do.
We do. I mean, first I akonya iso akachre awofo a ebia bribinti wo akwantuom na wagya wo ma ana wagya wo ma. Me, I'm a victim of that. And apart from that, I so also find myself say me ma be so Ghana me kunuma. For that reason, they relate to me more better than even their dad. Why? Because the way I approach it at the end, and he said me who say me which sometimes their father don't get it. But me being in that situation before, know how to relate to them more and try to also tell them why I am there. I am still doing it and continue to do it. I have stepkids or Ghana in Penifo. Even though Nyamia Madaroma ama oba nekra aware, but yet still no one to make us say, mommy, you are so wonderful. You get me more than. And Mikru say, I have been giving you the money. And I'm saying, no, it is not about the money. It's about the fact to say, I say, you have empathy on the situation she is in. You understand, say, he love for you to be there, but you are not there, and she's growing without a father figure. Not only that, for that reason, so I say me gusu edi sang komono with my husband at home. No, I'm the other side of the picture where I am coming from, because akolano ebeni long and say he will have a man. And he ubahun say aso pentama ware, aso pentama mabema banabra bom, aso pentamu need a father figure in his life. We know all those things. I've been there. I've done it. Min katameni en womani muso obra akwala bi ekosa situation ni mu ameka mano atum. Meka we achro na ma wo a wuti social media e wo bribi e wo se wo ya. Even if you don't know even how to start forming an attachment and bond with that child. Me platform is so abram nekua anofia wa aha na wo bete no. Me a wo fa menye hwe no. Me platform is so e na wo bete no. And that is the difference, because I say ana Kosia William platform so ana ama platform so ana Ophelia platform so platform no so no me nya nipa 1,000 me because me ni atem. It doesn't bother me, but I'm trusting God say kakra na ehwe no say ye be kwa asem ne yefo a our community will be better. When we starting rewriting all the wrongs in our community. It doesn't matter. Ghana for they mock it. It is all right. But more as they say, you get it. More you can find yourself in what we are talking about. Begin to leave that asemna ye kano. Now my reformation about your community. And my change different about your community. I am pleading with. And yes, there are some people they take the mic. You know me 20 or 30 years ago. O person with this susudua no wo behu me na me ye bribi different sa susudua na woni me no o person wugina eno so ene me react ya, you will lose me, because I am in a different dimension. I'm operating in a different level this time. So one who emra bi wo mu no ene me anantia, you will lose who I am today, because you are not say baby amigina no. I don't need 30 years environment no to come and distract what I'm doing now. Yes. Some of you, we are age mates with you. You knew us. The story has changed. You cannot rebrand me with 20 years ago. Said you know we need me wadabraka or whatever. Osha said you make us say as they say mudosen said you know we need wadabraka no. Into the adabraka line na esa bahaseya. Some of you have blocked you. Some of you have you seen that you are in my waiting list about 4 years ago? Facebook request. I've not accepted you because if I look at your page, you are still holding on to that 20 years in Yemen. And one goes with social media. I don't need you. This environment, my comfortable zone, I will not let you pollute it. I have moved on, and it's better you move on with me, or you can stay wherever you are. I am sorry, but this is a disclaimer. I am putting it here because I know, say, some people think they can roll with you with that 20 years. Now you think no, I'm sorry. I am sorry. Absolutely. Delay Becca will say, na nyame huna na enye fool. Na your come. And then you may be an go through. Into an ame why cross and cross and Rita, I am sorry, but we are living our truth here. Some people don't want it, but honestly, it is their palaver.
Many childhood friend be born come about 3-4 days ago. I call accident boko. And I'm so me yes ban now of course now when you miss van and I'm so I have a foolish question. I have a foolish question they be say me. Oh,
Thank
maybe
you.
so. Maybe so then me been not for how many years? 16 years me been not in a day. How do you ask me the minimum van? Like I don't get it. I have a question. Sometimes you see Ghanaians, you take things at heart and all that. To be honest with you, some questions are very stupid. Seriously, things are not a joke. Some things are not a joke. Like I will okay, Mr. Girl be me cutting off. For years, me question the very first day I spoke to that girl, that day no, I'm blocking. That's it. Of course, the so now you're not. And I'm still in baby. Bye bye. Why? It was nice looking to talk to you. Have a nice day.
One of the saddest things is
there's no need.
When we can be a shit time, no, me now you're penning some. My sister, Sam penning some no, and no, I develop him in a well, yeah, now the major yeah. Oh, the major, I saw catch them crop was a winning me. I and young Isa tag now with the tag game now, Kabian can become an him since there is something in you. They wish they had it. Instead, said they will glorify that thing. No, one of the simplest things. Or you're penning some more, or you're petri, or you say the negative side of they don't have any good thing to talk about. But listen, some of us, it was a communication some of the people we're living with didn't understand. Some of our rebellious spirits, now it was a communication to the people we are living with. They try not to understand our language. It is all right. I have to say what they allow your autistic thing or yet opposite side of things to communicate with you. It is up to you to understand what that child wants to talk about. It is up to you, the parent or the caregiver, to understand. Yeah, about Amma, welcome. These things won't. It takes me to another level, and I don't care.
Honestly, I hate to go into this mood, seriously, and you know what? I'm
Kasana irritator so Embra.
Maybe I'm one day they will have tea. Maybe when I'm a better hand meet. I'm just enjoying the conversation. I am picking up nuggets of wisdom as usual. See me Basina Rebecca, hello. Sabe I'm in from the background in disturbing to me mute me. I am not BB whole address and Mama I am acknowledging the fact that I'm on the show and enjoying it.
Thank you. So I'll keep dropping some of the girls you want to see. Teacher for me, some of your end product. How do you find Rita? Which I say 18 years and now 16 years, but it's amazing. All this I have it in abundance. Sister Aisha, these are some of the things when you come to Scotland, you're free of charge. You're free of charge. You get loads of them. Those of you who don't want to move to Ekurase, where I live, you know. Scotland ye was oye hodie umpebuka untimentana ha umpebuka you will not enjoy this place because and yet competition, but all the people around you are doing something which sometimes it repels you to also do something. Auntie Rita, nyame onshira. Can we continue with the attachment, emotional attachment?
Okay.
Where does emotional attachment start forming? I know from early age, but what are some of the traits of it?
When does it start forming? I'll probably say right from conception, like, I mean, most of us have been pregnant before, and then right from the time you get to know you're pregnant, your midwife will encourage you to be obviously speaking to Tommy, Robin, and so that is when the attachment sometimes starts. Because sometimes you probably think that, oh, they're not human beings yet, but they can feel you, they can hear your voice, they know that you're there for them. It starts from them. Where it becomes a challenge is when obviously maybe the mother is not well during the whole pregnancy, and therefore they can't obviously have the time and mind to obviously attend to the baby in the tummy. or whereby they're having their own mental health issues, or they are obviously taking drugs and alcohol, whereby they don't really care about what is going on around them. So that's where the problem starts. But if you're sound, if you're okay, there's no any of these things preventing you, then I'll advise the attachment, the secure attachment. That is the highest form of attachment, starts right from conception. It starts from when the baby is in the tummy. As soon as the baby comes out, the way you interact with the baby, the way you bond with the baby, even if like putting your phone down for 10 minutes and then playing with that baby for that 10 minutes, you probably think 10 minutes is nothing, but to the baby is something very, very valuable to them. And they remember that for the rest of their life. There was a video on YouTube about attachment theory, and whereby the mother, the primary caregiver, which is the mother, obviously was not attending to the baby and then had their phone, whereby the baby was trying to get the mother's attention that I need you to play with me. And then the mother was busy doing stuff like that. It got to a point whereby when the mother obviously became aware of the whole situation, or maybe later on in life, wanted to play with the baby. And that is when it goes to the obviously avoidance stage, whereby I don't need you. I've been able to cope without you, so I don't need you. I'm okay. I'm okay. So attachment is very, very, very important. And I want to talk much more about attachment and childhood trauma and the link between these two. Research has indicated that children are especially vulnerable to trauma because their brain is still developing. You know, when the child is very young, their brain is still developing, and they learn through what they see around them. So if you're not giving them the attention or the care they need right from the start, their brain will start forming a condition that, well, I don't need you. You're supposed to love me, but you're not there. So it's okay. I'll form my own thing and I'll move on with my life. So that's what research has indicated. And then children experience a heightened state of stress during a terrible event, and their bodies release hormones related to stress and fear. So when they are children, their body, when they go through a stressful or a very extraordinary event, their body hormonally releases this kind of hormones related to fear and then stress. And that is when they need, so when they experience that and they have the secure attachment with the primary caregiver now, they are able to go back to the attachment giver now to seek that comfort. Because most of the trauma happens with emotion, and emotion really normally happens in the nervous system. So when the child goes through this traumatic experience, and they know that, well, my mom loves me, I can easily go to my mom and then get a cuddle or a hug or a kiss. It makes things a bit okay. But whereby they go to their mom, and then for that, maybe, for instance, a child has been bullied at school. They come home, and then if they're securely attached with their parent, they can say, oh, mommy, I was bullied at home. They can easily voice out. But whereby when they come home, and now when I over feel why late, we are collaborating, and now homework for your homework. You don't even listen to the child. How many of us even spend time to say that, how was school today? How did you learn? What did you learn at school today? Is everything okay? Just to find out that 5 minutes, just to find out what went on to school can obviously help the child disclose any form of bullying or any form of things that they are going through, which is not pleasant, to the primary caregiver, because they know that the attachment to school is very strong. Yeah.
So, if I understand what you are saying, attachment and emotions, and also a child being upfront with parents, there is a link, isn't it?
Yes.
So, for some of us who don't have this rapport, is it because we have developed different mechanism of coping?
Yes.
So there are some people who have grown, and yet still, no matter what their parents do, it is not enough for them. If I understand what Rita is saying, because I didn't have an attachment with you, so therefore, even having a communication, a conversation, normal conversation, that my emotions will not flare up, there is a link.
Yes.
Some of us, because of because of spirituality, oh mama dear, oh papa dear, and was so we say, a false hope be the person have not dealt with the fundamental issue now. And no matter what we do, no, we get through the face say, oh yeah, I am known. I say, trying to actually relate to the person, no, it is a chore to you. I think if I get what Rita is saying, and the attachment theory, unfortunately for me, this is the very topic I'm doing in school at this moment. Rita explaining, it makes sense to me now. I can relate to it. That no matter online, my school now say COVID in online. And when the teacher was trying to explain, or the if you I was all tears. And I'm like, I was able to mask certain things. But as we share at the bino, na meti at the end, I feel na me who the entia me near me. Or therefore, I am not perfect. Meant na hanka say I am whole, I am healing. Me jitum. Healing no cry process, let's say media to say I am dealing with it. It is true. I've not had it all together. I am trying. Me bo me homodin. Ni say no, wa wutie yen, wo yo wofo. Na ebia, wa hu se oba, I started twe ne ho kakra. Eye the fact say wa kopu say he or she didn't live with you. You are there, but you are not there. Absentees, parent. In Aqualana subconscious, no. Set your ope out for you to give, you are not giving. So therefore, some of you have teenagers, and they must share baby, teenage years be or Aqualana need the space and not the MTSA. But when it becomes more rampant, frequent, begin to question what is going on. Have a heart-to-heart talk with your child. Come down to its level. Brafem as a parent. Na find it out. Na ehu di eko. Brafom na find it out what is going on. Na it may nya conversation with your child. Especially with the boy child who is growing without a father figure around. Who say o shedemu bebrea. Because bibi koso woni widie mu po a. He want to talk to you about it. But knowing say onye bema. On te de air koso no ase. Ebi kura ni ntosho mu kura twetwe ne nkakra mo am teenage boys no and now oya boisterous or da memu enti na de yo different no. Have a conversation. If it means you have to get somebody who is a male friend of you to be for obano be close to sa nipa no na mana tumi aka bribi a kire nipa kono na mo wahu de ekoso wo na dwene mu ene de ekọ ewo ne widie mu a ebeboa wo so owofo. This goes for the single parent. Emema onim sene maame ye oba enye niema nyina na obetumi aka akere because ohwe niema ewo nipadua mu a enye bi na ewo ho akwala ne so esore a na kwadwodo nsuro ya sore onti ase onyanti ase ana se eye ne se ontwetwe ne ho onim adeban a ekoso no. How does he talk to a mother who is on 12-hour shift? Akwala ne be sore kra na maame ni ho ana se uba ye na oni ni wo good rapport but you are so stressed up at work. Na onti me fa eno ma meka ho no. How would that child talk to you? What started alienate akwala no na ono so start for me way to also coping mechanism without you. The child have to bring herself up. I have been that side. I know how it feels like, and I'm living my truth. I don't care what somebody think. It doesn't mean say I'm not a good mother. It doesn't mean say I'm not doing what is expected of me. No, me, I'm learning. I'm learning. Through what I have been through, I have experienced first, and I identify, say, there was an issue because I didn't live with my mother. It's me, mommy, whether he's there, is not there, I will leave. It is the gospel truth. I have lived without her. So when it's not there, but as I am growing, me beji nyamidi ye me dia channel. I moved on. Reason why she did some of the things she did. And this abua me because my mother, Betna Bruchino, was able to have a conversation with me. Now my mother can have deep conversations with me. And Yamabia, he has not even talked about it for years because I asked the right questions. I'm in social work, so meaning some of the questions are put to him, to her, only choice but to open up. And abuame, and I'm telling you, healing no start from there. Ask the question, which is very in our community, we don't ask. Even the reason why your mother is not talking to your father, such conversation. Why did it take you so long to know said that man is not good for you? Why am I being caught on crossfire? In the divorce, that's I mean I may take you pain now. It was a papa and I may not have to melt to you. I am at the end of the barrel. Talk about it. Talk about it. Wow. Some of you, oh my, I'm able for sure. Well, so I say, what's up, papa? I mean, as he watches you, the more you are growing, you are looking like your father. Ain't he? Yeah, na muna na tia said ya wokasa ni nyina ate sa wo papa.
Leave us alone. Why? We've come out of those things. Leave us alone.
Afen obi nso gusu wo mo nyante ade na ekoso na se. Some of as wo ma me hwa wo sa wo more ne sede wo ye wo niam bi wo stubbornness no sa na papa tie. Abraham no kwam timi ese etwintwan wutimu se me ma me timu se sa side we dey mfiri me fie me ma me do time bi otimi catch am say this part it does not come from my home. We dey your papa fie fo na ye sa. Ai etobo na odi bia ye sede as I am growing. I've told you I'm learning. Enti ebi wo ho some of the bullets that comes they are not pleasant, but hey, I am the end product of these two people. And you know, it is up to me because a man some ho yabia. Me the pain no me fair mu no and one am the better to me ba. In the name of some etia me ba. But it's not right. Say ya hwe akwala, e mo akwala de ne nan esi form in the name of some punishment no. It is wrong. Akwala is traumatized nti or relationship no obi tiam, the girlfriend bi tiam pe. Bebre ya boys and girls bebre we had the good people to live with. But because BB has triggered something, who so na sister ne dey bana, who said the Abraham requirement, so yes, out to kai say, oh, said, this one I'm not going to tolerate it. I've moved out of my mother's house. I don't want to get that one again. That is the truth we are talking about now. Also, for Moses and Christ,
me run it quick. This is all the norm I had, so I have so much I have to do. See that because they got me boy. Oh, you've said a lot. It's not playing a victim, okay? It's not making excuses for anything. The fact say you've gone through any trauma, all these things we're talking about, I'm talking about, and yes, stepmothers in the name. Yeah, I mean, own grandmother, my mom. I think they taught say this is how they were also raised and checked and I went through abuse. I think I was very rebellious too. Me and I'm okay. I was very, very rebellious towards my mom. When she comes around my grandmom, only to it was okay. She was very pretty. Her looks was very pleasant to me. I adore that woman. I look more like my dad. She's a feminine girl. I adored her, but she was soft too. And no banswa. Ade ame na na mfa my aduane a won say Ghana no na mpanifo ne didie nim say nkwala mu need the entina me maame wo say debi is the kids who need it. Now one me na ekwu. Every time I leave her many aji because she's going to give me the best of food. That was things that I loved about her then when I was little. That was it. But so you can't really identify what the problem is. What is making you frustrated? What is going to you don't know. So you grow up and I say have a conversation with somebody to talk to you, which I would recommend therapy for most people to do. Because that is how they ask you questions and then you can express yourself to them why you're this, why you're that, what goes through your mind when you're by yourself, the questions you ask. Am I that? Is it that they don't like me? Is it that nobody cares? Is it that what is it? Is it my fault that my parents broke up? Is it my fault that I look like this? I look like that? And a short, smallish girl, mini social, you know. So it's something you were looking for. It's something missing that you want to find, and Obiane how or reacted to these kind of childhood trauma. No, it become very, very resent, like quiet or no. If you see people like that, some people are very, very quiet. They don't talk to nobody. Hardly before you hear a word from their mouth, they won't tell you their mind. They won't tell you what they. You see, like only Obi start our I say, oh, where are you doing, Debbie? And you know, because we're not doing
mutism, action.
yeah. And if you try that person and one day be a better one was obey you baby, a bet trigger baby. Now the way any pan react and I saw snappier, I do obey you know. Like I said,
is that the same person?
I did yes, what button it your best say Mama yenjai some mocking any negative comments about people's personality, different temperament near the end. Get to know people. Do not be a contributor to somebody's, craziness or whatever you think you call it. Because some of you are so good at poking people and like bringing sadiano out of them. When you be at why do you keep doing it? You will keep doing that. Obi so on pay yelling or say they be no bekasa harshly. It's hard for people to even come out to tell you, say, I deal we a no go in there for me, a mature idea. It's hard. It is a bit to me catch your It's not a joke. Mom won't take your friends to it. Don't act a certain way towards it. Respect that person. Because if you respect a friend, a husband, a wife, or whatever, now I catch us, I deal with me, you will stop. You will take it in good faith and say, oh, you can stay on pad way. Menye. Me yere se on pay. Madam Fuisla adi we me ya. It's a no go. Simple. It's not like Uber catchy attitude. And in papa na kwa ya ka na say Uber and also the idea which some hold on ye bu ye too much. No. And it's in us. Yemu pepe, sana we are all learning. Learn to accept people and let's build a better community. Your man to relate to them and my oldest is very quiet. I know it's few things that she's bottled up or something, but sometimes we talk. Sometimes to me when you could see the quietness, she calls back, I feel so bad. Then I had to go call her later and apologize and talk to her. I tried to control, say I could, find a different way to, communicate my anger and all that without yelling and screaming sometimes. But sorry, that is how they taught me to communicate. And see, me feel say, we all have things we need to work on. We all want to be good parents. Parenting is not a joke. Nobody is an expert to be a parent. To be a bit more. Susuka. Susu condemn unuano. Susu condemn abofrano. Get to understand them and find out why they are who they are. I'm going to listen, but I have to get ready for. Hey, Rita, thank you. It's always a pleasure coming here, and say.
Thank you so much, Akosia. I know you are very busy these days, but I am so humble when you come on. Me pacho Akosia ya frɛ Konewai. Anama kasada now.
Yes, we have.
Okay,
that's right. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it's Rita. Thank you. And
thank you.
Mpasa me catch it for say because adwuma we eyedin enye bibia ye dey 2 conversation or 3 conversation because ye can mental health ho asem a enema bebre koso ene ma ye mental health enti ne sent I think say me pick it no Friday Akosia on the day Saturdays no ye free the lunch show no so and also it be a different topic ye wonema bebre we want to help our community with. Actually,
I want me one pacho. Ochna, there is something about this whole thing, mental, how to deal with people who are emotionally not stable. 5 p.m. US Eastern Standard Time, actually. I don't know what time it will be. I'm saying UK be 8 or something. Me calculate what time. HIA TV. I will share it on Facebook. Myself and another doctor who is a psychologist, and then we yebeshe. And also did in common we ashe what is going on, and even the current issue. The topic was there a long time. We wanted to talk about, but BBS poppy up, so let's just add it on there. Funny things, children's, but almost say there's something going on. So I would beg that people should.
I go say, "Yeah, I said Donald Trump will be able to move and because I know so here."
Everyone say, "Me da say, although you work high, yeah, no need any say no. One will say, I said, we na make us say, make a show be 2-3 days ago. Nipa reason enye easy. Adie bia ube be show bi mu no. Bible akasete ti abofra ekwan opese o faso na oni a. The balancing is very important. Yet the thing is that one taking no for an answer. He's a winner, he's a leader. Abribia he must excel. I can't ho. And yet then shaswan ye the year. Ni papa no day. Say you pa like some serious anti. I bet ya dear when you move. And yes, Mimi wouldn't say on ye as a on good side, but I'm on him to muda say. But Sanka catcher and say, Mia when ni bobra, nipa de bribia make it short of excel. Neumum obisudu enimu kanya bonabaso.
It is all right.
And now it's okay to take challenges, but work harder. Okay, different. Catch and say, una ye better than anybody else. You see, it's the balancing. It's the balancing. One thing that now will be or having anywhere. When you need a problem movie. Obey a problem while worrying, obey a problem after flower bunting because all ya de one who say idea is wrong because mommy has always told me say I'm right. How dare you tell me I'm wrong? What you say? It's a make and parenting. It's a very challenging saying me Emma Uba. It's a full-time job and it takes a lot to do it. You seek his face, you seek wisdom from outside, you learn from people's you also don't condemn other people's children and stuff because they are it could spiritually. I don't know how these things work. The very thing you condemn in somebody's child, before you know it, your child is doing the same thing. Okay?
And there is this thing that people say, oh, I see you on you. I feel you said the very thing you are condemning, worse of it. Until I have a child, we as me see bad you did you, where do you say you, I've stopped. Reason is say, as I have my own, I realize say, hey, that very thing, the same kwala mobile, sorry, na kwala for her, na what's a while now home there be ebia na ebia obani no time obesa ubi na oba when you abra ye so na babos particularly no na ho a obeti afese
na me until Nina came like you say hey akosia kwani share Nina anyway me ton jewelries sister not talk me ma identify no baba lifetime talk. If you need any of these accessories, contact me. I know that Corona people are not going out much, but we still have a lot of different collections. Contact me in my inbox. My number is on the Delon Talk Show as well. I have to take my leave again. Rita,
thank you so much, girlfriend. God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you all.
God bless you, Medofo. Agosia, you who free swear. Agosia for about attachment. So auntie, mama chachi and for was so. Jemima Boachi, I see you. God bless you. Also for Moses Ankra. If we are Boachua, Mrs. says if you are the same. Oh, yeah, Mrs. D.
Wafu.
Mrs. Bafo, Mrs. Bafo, me chiao.
Wafu.
Ah,
Wafu. Wafu.
Buafu, Mrs. Buafu, me chiao. If you need full-time report, so we are winning. Me epidemiologist, no, or also, if you have what you are, NGB, I'm behuno. Corona, ya ben na diseases, near the Abbott, you would want to munyabot. Smart catch on. Me kunu wa faase no ye claim glory na mo me so bin claim bi wate me kunu wa faase no me sister ba Kofi Champo me hu nyame onhira Alithia, congratulations. Alithia mama, bouncing baby girl, beautiful baby girl. Alithia nyame Lunchtime talks for we are proud of you. Nyame nhira papa Obaya Asabia for Jones me hu Vivian Jemai me hu Doreen Lankai me dofo me hu Bettina Opare me hu Wendy McFly me hu Patrol me mo udi ame share that. It will be very nice. I told you right from the starting of the program, this program have to be interactive because we are talking about the mind and some of the if what's that you won't go to heaven. What? Mrs. Boafo, Yamishra papa me bafo. Honestly, ye can say nkwala me timi me mama ahwe won for mentorship from afar. Mrs. Who who's assistant or one said you go school or that they care the church. You people, you don't know what you are doing to my daughters. And say I am routing for those girls. I am because I'm rooting for those girls. My to say a wife a router no. My boss say from my way. Sister I draw done me home. Yami onshra papa. Other 4 year can sister Linda me home. Central for Yami Shama who say Miami elder. Elder Samuel Rita Quinaoo so ewa ha ana Ray papa me anso me elder me am elder. In fact me elder if you down na ju bi oni fa ojasios mpaibom this week ye ya asore de enti enye sure say this week you be ya na me boa ana Friday obeba Rita
Things that you know about.
I'm me elder say mo platforms bi am was so ya me share that Reno ne yire na che won ne yire ne Rita Quinaoo sister Rita ona waware powerful man of God sa no eda nyame nhira me chia me din chia pesi ma papa me who say central so for ewa ha central for Glasgow district for nyame nhira Mrs. Elizabeth Amwa sister Elizabeth Amwa nyame nhira papa na Atahega enso wa ha central for me too much na Linda Jamefi so ewa ha sister Linda nyame nhira me do for after program ne frame na ma feel dodo made in chia PSC Emma Miami elder wo gobosa elder Udro ene na yire Esther Udro so me chiamo baby amu wo bia me fa sa akonya so achia Miami presiding elder any auntie Maggie baby amu wo bia me chiamo Pentecost for you was we I'm proud to be a member of Church of Pentecost. I am proud. I am proud. Mama yento ankomo no so ni nyina hu hia ye ka about attachment Rita na me bisa say attachment no you good but sometimes obu also as some mothers are too attached say they can't even correct their kids. Is it a good attachment?
I think
so Donald Trump because some people because of what they've been through in the name of say me ba na me breye enti no me ma yen correct no me ma obi ntia no mo ntemase so that one too a good attachment ana.
No, that one is a problem. Because I say or try say or display no is the idea I say or no firm nice or the protect it so about be overprotective of the child. That one is a problem because yes, Anna, like you can't obviously correct the child when the child is going wrong, I mean, as a mother and as a primary caregiver, you are there solely to obviously correct the child and discipline the child, and then obviously, Bible I don't know how to do it in Chi. So when you become too much attached to the baby, because as a for instance, and I say, then you are leading the child into distraction. Then what we have come to realize is that most of these people, there's an element of a traumatic event they are happy in their life, which has not been addressed. That is why they are obviously being overprotective of their child. There was one thing I wanted to speak about. Trauma can be infectious, contagious. Trauma, it can be contagious. For instance, if as a parent, your child has been sexually abused, as a parent, because of the anger and then the frustration and then the shockiness of the whole thing, you as a parent can be traumatized in a way as well. And I know some your friend of secondary trauma or vagal trauma. Because
hold on. Which in our community these days it's rampant. Yeah. Where stepfathers or fathers scavenging their own child, just say akani akaba or fa ne ba no fa maame. One wa ehu ebi obi wo hɔ a ne maame ente da, but a man na ehu no nso no o pa kyerɛ sɛ ɔno a yansese no no so a traumatize ana.
Yes, the shock of it. The shock of it. And I say, the shock of it to Emily experiences some of the effects. They say, yeah, sleepless night. I thought diet or protected or cautious and banning you okay, or having sleepless nights or having anxiety or having depression, like sleepless nights and all these things, panic attacks, because if you said you're Johnny Banner Horners or that. Something or somebody will go and attack the child. There's an incident whereby now a parent had to obviously lock their child while they are sleeping and then put their keys in with them, because the fear of that, just in case somebody goes in and sexually abuse my child. Like, even though they have not been through the traumatic event, the fact that they have been associated with a person who has been traumatized, so it can obviously have a negative impact on them. It can have a negative impact on them.
Oh wow! Some of the reactions of the parent whose children has been in a way, be affected in those ways, their reaction is out of the trauma they also are going through, even though they are not the culprit of, and I said they are not the end of the barrel of the action. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's a shock of the whole event. Now it has happened to their child. And so I said, they are so overwhelmed. How can my child be sexual abused? Or how can even abuse my child in an environment that we live together, and I have no idea that this abuse was going on whilst I, as a primary caregiver, I was in. So I said guilt. And then blame, and then like I said, or blaming itself, say, yeah, it's not coming protecting plan, but means me I'm protecting my ama sadie no akoya akuran. They get that kind of traumatic, upon themselves as well.
Okay. There's this question I want to ask you. If a child at a particular point of age, let's say a girl of 20 years still wearing pampers, or is 7 years is still wearing pampers, peeing on herself, do you think something has gone on? The parent might not have noticed.
Yeah, because obviously when you look at the development of a child now, when they get to a certain age, at a point they have to stop wearing pampers, and they have to be able to sense when they want to obviously use the toilet for themselves. So when those things you realize at the age of 7, 5, 6, or the child is still peeing on themselves now, you have to seek help. You have to do whatever you can as a parent, as a primary caregiver, to obviously try and address some of the situation, such as when it's time for bed, do little things like obviously make sure that they go and pee before they go to bed, or do not give them fluid intake before they go to bed. And then obviously have a conversation about peeing and then pooing with your child, because sometimes we take some of these things for granted. Sitting the child down, explaining things and over to them, you probably think that they are children, but they do eventually get it. And there's so many help available, Auntie Rachel and Auntie Raul. There's so many help available. If you're struggling, the health visitor is available. Speak to them. There are so many specialists that they can refer the child to help them. There's other ways. There's talking therapy. There's other ways they can help the child to obviously overcome the situation. I know as a parent, it gets to a point whereby it becomes very, very frustrating, because imagine your 7-year-old child and still not being able to use the toilet or use the bathroom themselves. It can be very, very frustrating. But as a parent, that is when you have to be very extremely patient. That is when you have to be extremely patient with a child, and then speak to the people, go to your GP, tell them you're having incontinence issue with your child. They will take it out from there. They will help you. They give you all the advice, the support, the techniques, everything that you need, just to help you to overcome that situation. So don't suffer alone. Don't suffer alone. Don't beat the child up. Don't verbally abuse the child. It will not solve any of the issues. Rather, seek help. First point of contact, speak to your GP. They will refer you to a specialist, incontinence specialist, who will help you to overcome the issue. Yeah.
Okay. There is this aspect that a lot of people can relate to, and this one, somebody brought it in my inbox, so I'll put it to in your attention and see whether you can address this one. You know how Akosia said a little bit about it, but I think I need to explain it further. Somebody says, my husband, when he sees a mate, I think when the man is in his comfort zone, people he trusts, is able to express himself. The same man, they say, oh, you're quiet, oh, on Kaso, on Penahwasem, I can't have a conversation with. That same person, when he sees somebody, I think genuinely, he can lose his guard, or you're okay. Mutism, trauma ni bi amana ye mute. And yes, a penna on Penahwasem. But there are circumstances where when you put that person, a masani mutism, no, a banner. It's an area people use it to say, oh, you're shy, or you're shy. And you're you're shy. If you were so, because say, Odru ni mate, we know to make asa. Na Edru baby, or the net na obenim, na on kasa. What is it? What is going on?
From maybe from my line of work and a point of view, I wouldn't really associate those things to do with trauma, because as we all know, everybody has a personality trait. Obia I will be all feeling very comfortable when it comes to obviously their personality traits and the people they want to associate themselves with. But some people are very, very competent, very, very comfortable with their friends, very, very loud. When they come to their spouse or when they come home, they're very quiet and they are very reserved. Well, some people will also argue that it can be an element of trauma, but I would personally say that I wouldn't really obviously attribute this to trauma. There could be an element of trauma, but then there are some people who are very, very comfortable with it. I, for instance, when I see my friends, I'm a different person altogether. When I come home, I'm very quiet, I'm reserved. But when I see my friends, I am very, very comfortable. You could also argue that maybe when I was at home back in Ghana, they used to tell me small, so I was very quiet and reserved at home. But when I went to school and I met my friends, of course, I was very loud because there was no mother there was no father there to shout or scream at me. So it could be. It's an argument we can obviously argue, but I wouldn't really contribute all that to obviously the person having a traumatic event in their life or something like that. The personality traits, we all have our personality traits. I think there's 4 types of personality traits, the sanguine, the melancholic, the phlegmatic. So a sanguine means a sanguine, they're very, very loud. So when you're phlegmatic and then you meet a phlegmatic, you're the same boat. So it depends on your personality traits and then the person you are married to. Because if a sanguine married and melancholic, of course, I'm going to be quiet whilst you are loud. But when I'm loud and you are quiet and I meet a sanguine outside, we're going to be very loud because we have the same personality traits. So that's what I can obviously say in regards to that.
All right. I want you to also elaborate a little bit more. What are some of the attributes people display when they have had a post-traumatic stress in their younger life? Some of the things that exhibit when they grow up. Because I need you to talk about this thing in depth so that some of us, there are people around us who are thinking something is going on, but so that we will understand them, so that we understand that the reason why this person is doing that is because he has come from a certain background, and I need to also help as a friend, as a sister, as a church member, as a colleague, and then that kind of things. Gift is I see you. God bless you. And Nanaya, all of you, please share the videos. Share the videos for me. If you come on, this program has been a blessing to you. Share it to your platform, even if just on your wall, so that somebody who might not be my friend, when we say share the video, we are just asking you to spread the message and some of the things we are doing. So share the video for us. Auntie Rita, what are some of the traits?
Right, before I talk about it, I want to talk about adverse childhood experience. So when we talk about the childhood trauma, there's some classification. It's something that we use in mental health to group those categories. So we have adverse childhood experience, which includes all type of abuse, neglect, as well as parental mental health. So if a parent is obviously experiencing mental health, that can obviously affect the child as well. There's substance misuse, there is divorce, there's separation, there's obviously domestic violence. And then one of the research, when I was doing my research, it says most common adverse childhood experience was parental separation, and then that came up to be 42%, followed by emotional neglect. Emotional neglect, the percentage was 19.7% of people were experiencing adverse childhood experience because of emotional neglect. And then the domestic violence was 10.3. So these figures are quite significant. When you look at the parental separation, which we know that in the UK, it is what is going on every day, every time. Parental separation, it comes up to be 42%. And sometimes we might be going through that, but we don't know the effect it will have on the child at a later stage in their life. When it comes to people, some of the traits or some of the signs that they show when they are going
before you come to the signs, somebody have just put it up. Some men also go through stepmother trauma. This is not a laughing matter, because when you are talking, okay, parent in mommy, yes, some men also go through stepmother trauma, not living with your parent, not living with the person who's supposed to be there for you, to love you and care for you, also bring you those kind of things. So share video on your platform, tag somebody you think he might need this information. Make I here for say Lunchtime Talks, say live feed, or Facebook. At the same time, it is live on YouTube. At the same time, whilst we are doing live here, it is live on YouTube. And to say, go to Lunchtime Talks with a woman require all type of Lunchtime Talks, a lot of Lunchtime Talks, but what the a woman require, I won't say me a Lunchtime Talks program. No, I've tried to upload some of the videos also there. You can share some of the programs I've done that you didn't have the opportunity to watch, meeting the stars and other things. They are also there. You can start. I'm trying to upgrade both pages and websites. Instagram, but I am trying my best here. Answer na Auntie Rita obekoso ma menton ade kakra, because yaboafo no wo na eboa me ema dwumade ekoso me fasa akonya iso ada Sister Aisha, if you are on, God bless you so much. Me dofo nyame onhira papa. Who was now person will support me programming, one person will tell me product bia, but at least you want to support me, you are welcome, because light me use apps me use me. Apart from that, resource people are medium bahasi. It takes a lot of effort, even though say majority of the stars, but I need to call them Ghana calls. If you are many international calls, so support me so that I'll be able to do what I do. Don't wait till I die and then you say that I know this sister, it will not help me. Now will be and try my mean to say Rollins now on your flyers. I will not see it. In fact, I don't know you. If you didn't like me when I'm alive, when I die, don't like me, because I will honor so cram a me know you're fine. Hey.
Ekyesi siro besia mu sisterku. Onye onwam kasabereku. Ya owantam nuro na so na pempem kuku. Awomreku atina sia bio obesani chechefruma kanya heroma do sobrebuma timo bonyono. Awomreku atina sia bio obesani chechefruma.
I was here for me kai obi um say me ton juice plus. Juice papa juice plus nnuane no ne ahaban nura ada fofo aya kire se ubetumi awapom den ebegina so yie pa ye juice plus. Na osomfo ba wo mriku anyampo me ton bi. Enti wo pe bi ato an ni nyina wo ho besrew contact me enkoto wo ba bi na me bisa me information wo ho. To wo be ho na madwuma nkoso na mametumi asom wo se de yese. Mekai will be almost say Jara Beauty World for and a soyasne and who offend to us or party ope air accessories, wigs, air extension, air products, relaxes, ribbons, and a sanya manina Jara Beauty World for a tombi and now corona baby pia will be our yasia fanano Jara Beauty World for say so they all have a drama who offend to us or we won ya the idea or try be posted baby I will be or the bebro Jara Beauty World for no summer me di dwumadi ebro me sponsor me main sponsor pa Jara Beauty World for God bless you so much say obe patronize one product na one so akoso ai me ka so pehye to depa dia eni agro ne fom eno ne shito yi a me di atoso yi baby awo bi a mo so mo tibi post e de bro ai ti contact yo mo contact number and now telephone number na e wo so yi a kire se twabu Mr. or dash it toy free and ho. Miami son for bar, I Miami Dickness Mary Cla, and dash it toy oye. Now, essence a long time to steam no or Kahubi na side medi and ne muhunesano. That woman continued to push me from all angles, every area. At a time, I said I'm just taking a break because Michian, dear, na many time I was giving myself excuses. You know, one of the few women who said, "Or no, Anna Abigail." They would do anything for me to come on Friday. Inti long time talk space, you know, administrators now it was on the back on the Amisro. To shito ibi, shito no so ede. I mean, who did the bayra yachia a bosso? Who did the Gary Fota a bosso? Who did the Dokno Benkua a bosso? Aye, Miami Dickness, they a hot packaging and qua speaks for itself. Kona Kotobi, na sponsor Miami Dicknessy, and Mammy Yamishra will say. Amame. God bless you so much. Auntie Rita, welcome back. Still on the conversation. What are some of the traits, some of the things that if somebody is traumatized at later part in life, some of the things he or she exhibits, so that if you are married to such a person, you can pick that thing on and then live accordingly or support the person how it's supposed to. Make I will be able to ask my dear Shemi also for ba and I say ye panelist ne baako Akosia Williams or ba so semaka krebino or no one said me ho aye fe ya ai o say atare bi abehye bi amema ho asomade ai me ho aye fe nyina adom grace in fact Abraham rekwa me ho ye he but let me tell you nyame adom ti asomade o say ye fe pa ene me jacket no so kokama and my lipstick ni me makeup in Alithia all the way from USA. Abram makeup just say also Auntie Rachel what the old Friday be if I when more dry and maybe kakra what the kakra be auntie makeup in Alithia and lipstick in Alithia said the Maya Shepe in ya drum what ya drum I not get nothing I get o premier ni ba will be one Auntie Rachel to us
thank you. Before I answer that question, I want to quickly talk about a post-traumatic stress disorder, because trauma can have a long-term effect on the person's well-being. And if symptoms persist or do not decrease its severity, it turns into a mental health disorder, which is known as post-traumatic stress disorder. Post-traumatic stress disorder is something that we tend not to talk about it, but it's obviously very, very ongoing. And then it's something that when you talk about trauma, somebody obviously persisting, obviously experiencing the trauma, the flashbacks, the negative symptoms of trauma, then obviously they get a clinical diagnosis of post-traumatic stress disorder. So I'm coming back to the question you just asked, that what are the signs and symptoms of a person or a grown-up, obviously, who has experienced traumatic events in their life? And then research has shown us that they have difficulty in establishing relationships and obviously maintaining employment. So there's somebody comes around, they can't obviously have a close relationship with somebody, or they can't even keep employment, or inability to show affection or romance, or even persistent receiving. When somebody is even showing them love, they are unable to receive.
Andreta gina kakra na aka romance be Ghana fo na romance mo wa huna mane asema ye kan romance hwehwe obi say wo ka romance ye nkrofo bi wa hun say wo kware na romance is dry ono so bibi akoso ana I just ono so traumatizing from childhood ana ya sense and it is the same.
It's possible. It's possible that there has been sexual abuse from the start. It could be an attachment problem.
Some of the people that are nkate de na akono bibi akoso ne mranti brem ana ne maba wa brem ahu. But whilst Auntie Rita is trying to fix the camera, what you yanka?
It's munka ba say we chibi sir.
Say yete wonka. Yanyi de yete.
Moti munka. Oh, okay.
Na me bisa say obi wo hɔ a ase o ware no so me de me sex me ase like otwetwe no ho onye romantic ono so a onye forthcoming. Could it be that something has gone on?
There's a possibility that something has gone wrong, or there's a possibility that it could be an attachment problem. That right from the start, we're not that kind of, because we'll share the 4 type of attachments now. Avoidance attachments, or try to avoid people in as much as they could, because when him said right from the start, in the primary caregiver betrayed me or wasn't there. So why should I trust you? Why should I open up and love you? Just in case you move away, then you leave me emotionally traumatized. So I wouldn't put myself out there. So it could be obviously attachment issue. It could be that obviously they have been involved in a sexual abuse before, or they have been traumatized one way or the other in their life. Yeah.
This is deep.
And the list goes on. And if you're living with somebody with an intense or ongoing emotional upset, the person bibi kakra na ne boafu, like bibi kakra say mo share TV na bibi kakra ba mo bia child bibi kakra bia along those lines now bring it back flashbacks or memories of the events now or happened to him or her no na say ne boafu na ho na so pie, so pie na or excusing yourself from that scene or that environment, because it's bringing flashback and past memory they don't want to remember anymore. Science now, it tells you that this person obviously has been in a form of abuse, right, maybe from childhood or somehow in their life. There's a sign of a depressive symptoms, whereby if I say why depressed, when it's like when I say not will be why depressed, or fear or experiencing anxiety, fear of maybe I'll be or her on to me and kaka, because first of maybe when your accidents or come when your accidents. Eda into ama a traumatizing on to me to come on to me to come and on to me and driving, because obviously they have had this kind of traumatic experience whereby now it has now turned into a post-traumatic stress disorder, whereby or seeking help, or they've not gone for treatment, they've not gone for therapy, and then they're obviously living with it, and it becomes a problem. Problem with relating to each other. If you're Hannah or have it genuinely, only the way you down for, like problem I say, oh no, be down for 1 to 1, 1 or 2 none the both no more connect relationship never breaking. It could be a form of attachment problem. It could be a form of obviously being traumatized or being involved in a traumatic experience in their life. And then it should be a war.
Elaborating a year, because a lot of people associated with now saying this is the normal conversation they have. Me pagan in pagana form. Me penny pem. sister, you have an issue which you have not dialed deep because who koni pemua na wo deficiency ne ba kakra bia wa wonim se bibi wo ho odofo me ka wei ama wani aba ho so say some of us we have put some of the things in our subconscious, but you know that thing is very powerful. Once you see something that is something that has happened before, I don't know, but I think that mental health, what I understand, they say once the eye see or the mind recognize something that has happened before and an insurance or traits of it, you know, it triggers something in your mind. That is the only simple way I understand mental health. And I say me take at the end I can I say. And how people deal with their emotion. Yeah, my cost way with you. Or therefore, nyame wo ni nyanse mu ammo nipa in an island. Nyame na beye bribia or defend him. Now, when you begin to isolate yourself, do certain things, sister, bribi wo ho, and you must deal with that thing. And no one sem na ye ka no ene no. Bribi akoso ama bribi enko yie e wo wadwene mu. Ana say ye wo say sa de ban me ma ho kwan e ma ne nsensi biem. And there's always a mechanism where you always want to bring a barrier between that thing so say a very happen biem. And no one sem na ye ka. Me panipa wo obi a oye ntete ho bebre me on panipa ne action nyina ne hunu mu bon no oye niam bi a eye coping mechanism. What or yes, sir, at the cover up, BB pa koso at the background. Now, until you come closer, and also let's say a man panel, that person is where you should also get closer to. I know, say some of them are difficult to deal with, but let me tell you, whether we like it or not, abrofo, they are smart in those things. When you say when you be crying, you might shut down penasem, but on him say. So he deals with you according to how you deal with the person. Moma yensua sa adebano na mayen yen community mu any yen society yetimi aboa won a woye mmere e wo yentem rather than branding them, calling them names, putting them in a container bia, they don't belong. Something is going on. That is why I'm giving you that reaction. Find out what is going on. If I'm not able to open up to you, means that I don't trust you enough. But deal with me as a person, irrespective of whatever that is going on that you are seeing. There's a good side of me. Learn to live with it. The other side you don't want, as time goes on, it will change. And you say, yeah, like I'm saying. Or therefore, it's very imperative that every parent will have it in a sense. Why? Because even yema egu ahodro. Akola bia ni emotions nso. Nti said ye yetia nipa as Ghanaians. In the name of say sa na yetie no. Eno kura me hu se ewunsunsuanso. Some of us have also experienced it. The nim time be demeaning words ayeka. In the name of say me tia me ba. I want to prove say me tia me ba. Sa niema ni nyina no. Odofo mesrawo moma yenka ho asem agosia hey oba fefe wasan abaso bi me sure so wa asem ka.
Oh Lord, let me say it's been a great discussion now. These things it gets us into a different mood. The Americanism of me I am more homogen now. Yeah, working on our weaknesses, the things that we've been through. There's more work to do, and we're gonna keep it going. And
Comfort said, this has been interesting, educative, and thought-provoking talk show, humbling us all to think about our actions and behavior and the impact it has on lives. Thank you, ladies, Awurama Quinaoo, and I will recall for research. Thank you to Connie. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ama me pacho ka traits ne kakra eka ho. Na ebe me say aje jama next week ye ba. Na because I said to me and dive into it.
Okay. some of the traits is a loss of previous acquired skills. Like in the they used to be able to do certain things, and all of a sudden they can't do those things again. And obviously, because we talked about childhood trauma, and I want to obviously draw most of the parents' attention to some of the things they can see when obviously their child, to obviously know that their child has been through as any form of trauma. Attention and obviously academic difficulty. So, for instance, if you have a bubbly child, like a child who is very lively and outspoken, and all of a sudden the child becomes mute or becomes quiet or try to isolate themselves unnecessarily, as a parent, you should be worried, because most of this abuse, whether it's bullying, sexual abuse, emotional, anything, it's very, very hard for the child to obviously come and disclose that information to you as the parent. Unless most times, if you are securely attached to the parent, securely attached to the child, it makes it easier for the child, but it's very, very difficult. So if you come to know that obviously your child is now experiencing difficulty in terms of the academic, not even sitting with the family when the family is having dinner, keeping themselves to themselves, as a parent, you should be worried. You should be worried and obviously try and find out. And then I know from our cultural background, we tend to obviously shout and scream verbally, aggressive, hostile. But that is when, as a parent, you need to be very calm. You need to speak to your child. You need to reassure them that it's not their fault. You need to obviously speak to them so that they'll be able to disclose that information to you. Whereby now you have tried everything and you feel like there's something going on, but the child is not unable to disclose that information to you. There is therapists available, because some children, research have shown that some children actually find it very comfortable disclosing those abuse, to a therapist compared to disclosing it to their primary caregiver, because they don't want obviously their mom or their dad to be traumatized by that information, but rather they rather be comfortable disclosing it to a therapist. So that's where the treatment comes in. That is when the treatment comes in. As a mother, you take the initial stage and obviously seek the help that you need for your child. Yeah.
Auntie Rama, nyame onsha papa. One of the things I want you to sum up with this trauma before we find another time coming back, and I'm trusting God, say, my health segment, I'll find time. Me and go school near Dinty, and your man does one, but I'll find time blending as well. Me pese o kasache awofo ansa na we free platform yi so. And kasache awofo say, nneema bi a ye in the name of generally, I mean, in our culture is okay. I mean, it is all right. So be sure, but minim say Ghana food ye a share ka ho na my bra. There are other forms of things you could do. Only awofo nkasa enkyere won wa wode won makoja nkrofo the long-term effects are a woman kwala no. Me pese only awofo kasa ene. Mama.
Okay. What I want to say is that parenting is not an easy task, as Auntie Akosia has already said. And I've been a parent for, I think, the past 4 years. It's not easy. But what I want to say is that we need to be very, very patient with the children, especially with the children that we are bringing them up in this country. It's very, very challenging. If your child is being extremely difficult, or obviously how you having challenges with your child, there's help that you can obviously seek. You can obviously speak to your GP to obviously, because they can go through obviously this behavior therapy for children to obviously try, and obviously people with a extremely challenging behavior, children, they can help you to address those issues. And as a parent, from our background, our culture experience, where we are from, what we know, we tend to verbally abuse the child, like verbally hostile, verbally aggressive. I have a 4-year-old child, and anytime I get angry and I say, "Mommy, you are shouting," she will just straight away, she will tell me, "Mommy, you are shouting." Then I'll realize that I also, okay, I apologize, but I meant to, So she would let you know
I
that
thought
you are
that
shouting, you are raising your
I'm the
voice.
only person who have that issue. Reabot will tell you, you need to lower your voice. Your voice is too high. Now said the obey the nimboko, I can't show.
Yes,
Who will
yes,
say,
yes.
young, to be, but now I think that for me, that does it for me. What that child doesn't know, listen to once enough, your mama coming down and say, but not a mama, my voice, but the brain will say, Obi wa hɔ a na wo ba no enya kukuduro anka nkyerɛw, especially enkwala yɛ kɔfɔ mu free Ghana eba no Ghana no yɛteatea no it's normal to wo de ne ba ha na wo yɛ ne saa de yɛn nim ne sɛ yɛ start no mekae Ghana fo bebree wa kwanto mu asese yɛ gye mo ma enya hwe sɛ saa de ban we this master class yɛ ne yɛ wa ha yi nka utie yɛn yanke bɛboa because one hwe yɛ bɛ kakra no yɛ bɛgye wo ba afiri wo nsɛm. Now they are teaching the teachers and the social workers how to identify nkwala they have been traumatized. Nkwala bibi kakra bi no wa panic. Teacher bibi ikoso. They will start having conversation like, how is your home like? Draw your mother. Why? By the time you realize akwala unknowingly bibi biara ekoso ewo dan ni mu no. If ye na wo free mu no. Na wo yi ato hɔ a onim. Menkase emowoba. Menkase entia woba. But I know how to do it. And who asem na ye kan. Because untimi mfa na meka say untimi mfa Ghana de yomu ema ha enye adwuma. You must as a parent learn the language of the day. Understand baby aye wo no. Emra aye wo mu yi na ye mu ade yo. O de Ghana said ye niema wo Ghana ai sa na ye me. When I started being a parent I thought I fear Ghana yet young, like typical Ghanaian woman. But I realized say emwa. But the can say emwa, not in any way, if anything is dimming your child's confidence. Who do mo banija kakra. Instead of building it up, who do mo no. Now one say ya that crow na ye bo no. Most of us I say ya ba baby a foreign land no ye be no de enti a ye disuade hu na ye de ba ye no wo nti a ye bre no na ya je ye mfiri won nsem na your life is miserable odofo eden obi ani hu a parenting it is not easy because the gift God has given to you don't you becha wade a woni ma de ko a de ba becha you don't know you do your best to make it up to sa akwala no. But you don't know akwala packaging na as time goes on na one net na no na wo hu akwala yo no anti obi ba ye so simple or you correct or ya ade no in a different way na wa wo hwe wo be ya as or your opposite side or no so na de no. And you as a parent must learn to live around that child na ye mo ye ma ho ye mada ache ho ban. Shase sese wo ba enya ade kora wo sukuu a wodi nkura nhyesem ehya akwala ne tirim ebeye yie it will be well continue try they make catch we sometimes Ghana for ye dia ne se ye dia akwala ko school what we don't know ne say abrofo na ana won wa wo ma edi yie no they do other things outside the school omo ma ye bribi foforo pay for somebody to mentor their kids pay because onti akwala na say. But obi wa abonten akwala no can be or penasem or percent de bia who sape begin to attach your child to him. Enye denyara you get feedback. Afi obi who said the nipa no ye na ade no wa start esesa. An kakra it is not easy. It is not easy so when so bad in say jam. Na enye constrain you say kawano tum. Sometimes allow the kids to also make their own mistakes so that afi who can be bia obeji wedi. We don't even allow them to make their own. Or didn't say question your money at Yano. Obroni to make my crime and about mess if you yours to clean it up. After Colani cleaning it up, next time he won't do that mistake again. Ghana ni all my colano crime mess it up in the first place. And I dissuade you know what are the binding no or back which is a new book with skills where you on school no we a kind of informal learning. Akwalano in his life knows that there are errors and mistakes. And when errors and mistakes comes, there are consequences. Adieno, a moral, a yina watcherano. And allow him to make his mistake. Consequential mistakes, some of them are just incident. Some of them, they deliberately do it and then you correct it. It is all right. It is all right. And it helps because behavior management, Obia meye ma Ujaima state in so munyama we beje oba. No kure woman no. When you are too attached and you don't do the right thing, oba ne be say. What's yanso na wanti yan yi aye beje no. So you are cut in between. And the fine line between say who abuse oba and say who overreact as a parent. Thin line. Inti abusuafo. Ahana basa yi adom nyame di yebesi, but mesre Auntie Rita, ready I put you in a corner. You need to find time again and come. Mental health, there was a name bebre wo mu I will talk about anamebua. Nyame shira pa say ye frɛ wo baye.
Thank you.
God bless you so much. God bless you so
Thank
much.
you for
I am
having me.
humble, and this afternoon I'm really blessed because you were on to actually impart us with all that you've learned at school. And I'm so proud. In fact, Corona, yeah, my man celebrated graduation, but that's all right.
Wow.
You're not paying on Benjamin. I hope some my cake is in the fridge because I've not forgiven you an elder. I've not forgiven you an elder. Yeah, mention papa. Elder, you owe me so here. You owe me lunch. So sir. Elder, if you are listening, I'll tell you. You owe me lunch. Elder, you know. Catch the mommy. Auntie Rita, papa. God bless you. God bless you so much.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me on this great platform. It's been a pleasure. I'm really, really honored for this invitation, and I hope these things, obviously, what we've talked about, has been very educative and informative to all of us, and we hope to learn from it. Thank you, and God bless you. God bless all your sponsors, all the technical team, everybody that's made this program successful. Thank you so much for having me on the platform. It's been a great pleasure today. Thank you.
I think your sister-in-law is on. Phyllis Quinaoo is on. Phyllis, why? Mahusa wakuma abaso inti no abaso nya wakuma obaso ankaruma.
Thank you.
God bless you. Mahusa osofu edu ponso ofia. Osofu nyame shira wate chop kiss wate. I love you. So wa onim. I'm the only person who have a software as a girlfriend in COP. Mo amonti ase mutimi koshepo. We dey me announce me ho. No bi koka anya foforo. I'm the only girlfriend, the only boss chick for software. Papa God bless you. God bless you so much for your support, and I'm really humbled that when I come on, my pastors, my elders, and all the people, my loved ones, you take your time to come and watch me. I am really humble. I don't take you guys for granted. Some of you, I hardly called you or anything. It's not that I'm being disrespectful or anything, but mo fan cheme adagye ni sha adagye ba akona media program adagye ba akona me owarefo adagye ba akona. And those of you who have come on my inbox, if I've not replied you or the page and nobody has replied you, we'll do our best to do that. But forgive us, time constraints. I have a lot on my plate, but I always squeeze this time to come here. It is not easy. As I'm talking to you, Monday, I have to submit an assignment, but I've just decided to submit some memory. Inti enamewaha. Nyame nshiramo se mo baso na me frɛ mo so amoba. I am humble. Share video no. Me kai will be say dwumadie no. Say you streaming live for Facebook. We are streaming live on YouTube. Inti no se Facebook kra na wuni account ultimate kohwe wo YouTube. Oko YouTube na like me page and subscribe. It costs nothing. Just like the page and let people come on. It will be fun. Like we are interacting here. The same thing applies there. YouTube for Nyame Onshram. I can't see all of you there, but God bless you for supporting my program. I am really, really grateful. God bless you. See you all. Auntie Rita, Nyame Onshram, Papa. Hey, doctor, you are late. You are late. You are late. God bless you. Doreen, God bless you. God bless you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Auntie Rita, I'm you so. Okay.